Hola, ¿qué tal?
Good morning, everyone. ¿Quieres tú? Good morning. We're going to start with this session with guidance for the new participants. First of all, let me welcome you to LACNIC 43. I'm Laura Kaplan, Development and Cooperation Manager at LACNIC, and on behalf of LACNIC staff, I will be joining you during this session, which is addressed at the new participants, so you can surf the LACNIC event. So we're gathered today in a hybrid format, although the format will be held in person here in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and we're also remote. So all those who are following us remotely can also take part in this session. So we will now begin with the presentation in this session for new participants. I'm now going to invite Ernesto Majo. He is Executive Director of LACNIC, and he will be making the introduction to this LACNIC event.
Buenos días a todos.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Get together, because if not, we'll be cold. It's a huge auditorium. So let's try to stay together and enjoy this event. This session, as Laura said, the idea is to give you some of the key elements that we all work with. That is the global, the regional system of the global system of the Internet Address Registry. LACNIC is an organization that is part of the global system of the Internet number system that has 5 organizations that are similar with the same characteristics. We share a number of principles that we all abide by and that we must check every day. Those are non-profit entities based on membership. That is, it's the members that mandate this association. So we are a non-profit organization, a non-profit association. And the other key element is the definition of the rules based on which LACNIC and staff assigns and distributes the Internet resources. So those rules, or rather the policy, the way we call them, are developed by the community in an open and participative process. So anybody in the community can discover a need and propose a change in the existing rules. So that's the key principle. That is one of the activities that we have this week. So as I was telling you, this is a global system. There are 5 of us. LACNIC is responsible for Latin America and the Caribbean, and some of the territories in the Caribbean, not all of them, Cuba, Dominican, Haiti, the so-called the Netherlands, Antilles, Aruba, Curacao, Bonaire, Saint Martin, and Trinidad Tobago, Belize, Guyana, the French Guyana, and Suriname. Those are the Caribbean territories that are under LACNIC's mandate. So as an organization, we assign Internet resources. LACNIC assigns Internet resources to all the entities in those countries or territories. We do it directly in the case of, except we do it directly, except in the case of Mexico and Brazil, that act through the coordination with other national organizations. Those are the national registries, Internet registry. In Brazil, it's the registry BR that existed even before LACNIC was created. So they were one of the founding members of LACNIC. So we have both a technical and operational relation where NIC-BR assigns the resources in coordination with LACNIC, but in Brazil. And they provide services and resources to the Brazilian organizations. Another characteristic of the regional countries are that we give the resources IPv4 and IPv6 and the ASNs, the autonomous system numbers for the global operations of the internet. So we are regional, but we have a global function. And another key characteristic, in my view, that is very important, especially this week, it's important to point it out. On Wednesday, we'll have a session, an open session, open to comments, the so-called the draft document of ICP2. It's a document that establishes what we just said, the principles of the entities that aspire to become a regional registry, or being regional, they intend to continue to be so, must meet. So those are the key requirements. That ICP2 document was the mechanism through which 23 years ago LACNIC was created. The current version is the one that we had to abide with. We had to go step by step in collaboration in a process that's another characteristic of our community. It's a collaborative process with the existing registries. ARIN in North America, well, in the past it used to cover the entire Americas. RIPE PCC that covers Europe and Middle East, and APNIC that provides services to Asia and Pacific. Those three regional registries helped us when LACNIC was created by providing resources, experience, knowledge, systems. Without their assistance, it would have been impossible for LACNIC to exist. So 23 years ago, on October 21st, that was LACNIC was created, and it was a big effort at the beginning. Today, after 23 years, LACNIC has 13,000 members throughout the region that receive the resources directly through our work in LACNIC or through the national registries in Brazil and Mexico and BR and in Mexico. Those are associates. And then they elect their authorities and the members of the statutory bodies, the fiscal and the electoral committees that are the board that is the maximum authority. That's what we see. We are going to have an activity tomorrow afternoon. And it's also important to highlight the mission and the vision of LACNIC. What are we here for? How do we see ourselves as an organization? Where are we heading? And what defines us is this: building a regional, to work to build a regional community that may help enhance the global internet. That's our mission, and that has to do with the operations, with the most basic work, assigning the internet resources and managing the administration of the number of resources of the internet with excellency and transparency, promoting participation when developing policy, so all the members of the community can propose changes in our current policy, and also leading in a permanent construction of the regional community to make it stronger so that everybody may help enhance the internet in the region with an open, stable, and secure internet. I think that this is the slide before last, and it has to do with what I said earlier. What is the region of the existence of this event? Why does LACNIC organize an event? Basically, there are two foundational reasons. The first, we are going to have the members' assembly tomorrow, starting at 4 p.m. And in that, and there we must bring all the information, all the activities, and to report the accounting transparently, to provide the assembly all the information they need so that all the associates may assess the performance of the association. That's why the assembly exists. At the assembly too, the assembly makes the decisions. And if changes are needed in the statutes, in the fees, the rates, or fees, whatever, that the assembly has to do it.
La comunidad debate las ideas, las propuestas de modificación de las reglas, de las políticas que luego vamos a aplicar como registro regional en la asignación o en la administración de los recursos de Internet para nuestra región. Entonces, la segunda razón, esto va a ocurrir el miércoles también en la tarde, es el foro de políticas y, por favor, los invitamos a participar. Obviamente, también si identifican ideas o necesidades en lo que tiene que ver con la administración de los recursos de Internet, proponer ideas y modificaciones a través del proceso, que es un proceso claramente organizado, definido, que tiene etapas, pautas y participantes fundamentales como los moderadores. La tercera y última razón es, como nos define nuestra visión,
is to build the LACNIC community. And this arises from the spirit of the founding organizations. As I said, there were 6 founding organizations. One of these was NIC-BR. They were one of the founding members, but there are other that are also related to the original community and to the academic network. So that initial spirit is precisely to build an organization, LACNIC, this was 23 years ago, not only to deliver technical services, but also to develop this community, to build a more open and secure internet, to have a strong community that can ensure compliance with the objectives as an organization for the benefit of the region. So that is the third reason that explains what LACNIC is. This is a platform for coming together with different entities, people from different places, with different experiences. We get together, you participate, you get training, they contribute to the discussions, they enrich the debates, and also are prepared and trained so that in their daily activities back home, you can incorporate all this information that you obtained through these events. So I think this is the last slide, if I'm not mistaken, and back to you. Thank you. So thank you. We'll now continue with some more practical facts about this event. Now, before we continue, let me remind you that this session has simultaneous interpretation. If we speak in Spanish, if you need interpretation into English or into Portuguese, you can pick up your headsets at the entrance. So we are here. This is LACNIC 43. What does your registration include? What are the things you can take advantage of in this event? We're going to have 5 days of conferences and training sessions. This will be from today, Monday, through to Friday, midday. We're going to have the opportunity also of having conversations and meeting people and colleagues during the coffee breaks that we'll have in the morning, and then in the afternoon this will be served where the trade show is located. And in addition to that, we'll have 2 social events. One is tonight. We have a social event. I'll give further details on this. And on Wednesday, we'll have happy hour after the last session. This is a special event. Abrind, our host, is holding its same event in this venue. Further to the right, if you exit this hall, and if you register to the LACN event, you're also entitled to have free access to the Abrind Global Congress, which is the event that will be taking place simultaneously as from Wednesday. The Abrind Congress will also include a show. This will be a social event on Thursday. And you also have options for having lunch. These are not included in your registration, but you can find these next to the trade show area. You have food trucks and other options for having lunch. As I was saying, this is a special event because in addition to LACNIC 43, the Abrind Global Congress will be taking place at the same time. This is an overview of this enormous space, which is the Convention Center. In blue is where we are right now. This is where all the LACNIC event will be taking place. And what you see in green is where is the venue for the Abrind Global Congress. What you see in red, which is the entrance, is where you registered. When you went to the registration desk, you exit from there to the right as from Wednesday. We also have some e-vehicles that will be it can also take you there. You can walk. And we're going to be moving from one place to the other as from Wednesday. This is optional, of course. And now, to better understand the LACNIC event, this is just a layout to see where we are located. Right now, we are at the plenary session. This is a Theater Celso Furtado. This is a blue circle in the center. At the bottom, we have the rooms for the parallel sessions, a press room, and the boardroom. This is in red, sorry. But in blue, you have the tutorials. On the left, we have the trade show and the networking space. You will see that you will have seating options for networking. And further to my left, you have to the right on the screen is where you can have lunch. You have different options there, as I was saying. So when you open the website of the event and have a look at the program, this is what you can view there. This might seem a lot of information. You might have realized that if you click on each of these squares where you see tutorials, then this will show you all the different options with the relevant timetables and the brief description of that session, what each tutorial is about, what each presentation will be dealing with, and so on. So this is a full agenda for the entire week. Now let me show you now a summary. If you're here for the first time, these are just suggestions of spaces where I would suggest you should participate if you're not too familiar with LACNIC and the processes. I strongly recommend to take part in 2 tutorials that we'll be having this morning. These are not technical tutorials. One is how LACNIC manages its resources, and one that is on Me LACNIC. These 2 tutorials will be in room 105. These are good introductory tutorials. The first tutorial, they're speaking about the policy development process, how to participate, what all this implies. And the second, for the members, is so you can better understand how to browse LACNIC and all the different options that you have in terms of services offered. Then there are other 6 technical tutorials that will be held throughout the day today in different rooms. In this hall, we'll have 1 tutorial after this opening ceremony, the opening session. Then we have the LACNIC Peering Forum. You have to register separately. You can feel free to do so. This is available in the website. And this afternoon we'll be having the social event. We'll be departing from the convention center, and it's a great opportunity for networking. Tomorrow we will have the opening session. I strongly recommend to come to this panel with the data centers. We have 2 keynote presentations from Paolo Lucente and Michael Bouchon. This will be Michael Bouchon on Wednesday and Paolo Lucente on Tuesday. And on Tuesday, we'll be starting with LACNIC's technical forum. During the technical forum, we'll have a large number of sessions that have been included in the agenda. So depending on your interest, you can select the options of your preference. On Wednesday, we have the Members' Assembly, as Ernesto was explaining previously. This is for LACNIC members. This will also be held in this room. And on Wednesday also, as Ernesto explained, we'll have the Public Policy Forum. For those who haven't registered to the policy list, I also recommend you to do so. And then the last session of the day is regarding synergies of the work between the academia and the industry. So great opportunities for participation, and we strongly recommend that session as well. And after that, we'll have a happy hour outside this conference room. On Thursdays, especially for those who are from Brazil, we'll have a meeting where best operational practices will be discussed. This has been prepared for operators, although we speak about local situations, things that happen to the visiting country, to the country we visit for each event. But this is also useful to learn from experiences, so that operators from other regions can learn how of the challenges they face here in Brazil have been resolved. And as I said, we're also sharing spaces with ABRINT on Thursday. You can participate in ABRINT's social event. This will be in pavilions numbers 4 and 5, where their event will be taking place. And on Friday, we'll be closing at lunch at midday. In the morning, we'll have a session on artificial intelligence and network automatic learning. Don't miss this session. This will be a most interesting session. And as I was saying, during this event, we'll have the Public Policy Forum. I insist, go to room 105 to see how you can participate and what all this is about. Mariela and Franco will be explaining what this is about and showing you some practical exercises. For those who haven't registered yet to this public policy list, you can scan the QR code and subscribe to the list. You will see the discussions that take place regarding the policy proposals we have for this forum, as also you will have an opportunity to discuss in the list. And on Wednesday the 7th, we look forward to seeing you here at 2 p.m. for the Public Policy Forum. Participation in the forum is in person or also remote. So those who are following us remotely can also participate virtually. You're entitled to do so as much as the people who are present in the room as well. So this is a slide which I suggest you can take a picture of. These are the major events. I insist, Convention Hall 2, as from 11 p.m. you will be able to find something for lunching, and then we'll have food trucks all open all day. The social event will be tonight at the restaurant Coco Bamboo. For people who are staying at the Holiday Inn Hotel, will be departing at 7:15 p.m. from the entrance of the hotel. They will the buses will take you to the social event and they will bring you back as well. Particularly for those participants who are not staying at the Holiday Inn, buses will be departing from this hotel, Holiday Inn. And for people who like sports, we also have options. For activities, we have the LACNIC Runners event. This is an interesting activity. So you can also meet people. You can also run or you can also walk. We depart on Wednesday the 7th at 7 a.m. from the entrance of the hotel. This is an activity that is about 1 hour. So by 8 you will be back. And it's a great event to go out in this group. It's one of the fun events we have as well. Then happy hour will be on Wednesday at 6 p.m. after the last session. And we'll be meeting at the convention hall number 3. And finally, the Abrin show will be on Thursday, the 8th of May in pavilions 5 and 6. So one of the things we encourage and is also very important of the LACNIC events are the opportunity for networking.
Because in addition to being here to listen to talks and lectures and keynote speakers and to get trained in a number of topics, we're here to develop synergies and to establish contacts with colleagues of other industries. And although much of that takes place live in the coffee breaks, lunch, and those moments where we have a chance to meet each other, there's an option given by a networking tool that is called LACNIC Conecta. You can enter via the website. You can register with the same email and the same password that you used to register for this event, and there you will see the people that are attending, and you may contact them. But if you've never seen them but you'd like to get in touch, you can do it through the app in LACNIC Conecta. So something important. There's going to be a lot of us, and we are here to have a good time. As I said, we are here to for networking purposes, to learn, to hear, to listen to interesting debates. But something that is very important to us as we build a community is that all the activities we implement may respect the conduct code. When you registered for the event, you were asked to accept it. I hope that you read it, and if you didn't, there you have the QR. You can download it and read it again. Because basically what the code of conduct says is the way you're expected to behave for this to be a wonderful event, and so that everybody may go home happy. Expected behaviors, and also it describes some behaviors that are unacceptable for our community. And the code of conduct tells you that we have an ethics committee, that if anything happened, if somebody were to feel uncomfortable with something that happened, then the committee can interpret the code of conduct, and it's the committee that receives any claims that may arise. But in addition to the committee, we have a group of people that are here, that are the trusted staff of the community and staff of LACNIC. They are there to be here. Those are Henry Godoy, Ricardo Patara, and Silvia Chavez of the community, and Adriana Ribeiro, Alejandro Acosta, Paula Mansi, and Jimena Garret are of the staff. So these trusted members are here for anything that may arise. So these are the trusted representatives that are going to be here all week. They have huge pins. We tried to make them as visible as possible for you to be able to identify them easily. We're going to put this picture with their faces so you won't forget who the trusted representatives are. And eventually, if you're looking for someone and you can't find that person, or if you want further information on other programs or other initiatives underway, we remind you that there is a booth. That LACNIC has a booth where that is going to be staffed almost all the time. So you can go and contact one of our staff there. You can ask them directly. So this is the end of the guiding session. We are on time. So I remind you that you can visit the trade show, both those of you who are attending in person, but also those that are online. So starting from Wednesday on, you'll be able to attend the Brain Sessions event that's going to take place at the same time. And now my colleague Guillermo Cicileo is going to go on with security and BGP for network operators. So now I'm going to give the floor to Guillermo Cicileo. He will start with the tutorial, and I remind you that to your right, the rooms to the right, they're going to be side tutorials and a peering forum. So thank you, and I hope that you can make the best of this week. See you.